From Los Angeles to a worldwide audience, this is Boaz Power TV, where we take your life to the next level. Now, internationally known speaker and author, here's Boaz.
Hi, welcome to the Power Show. You are part of the Power Nation, and I'm so delighted that you're here. Because here we help you take your life to the next level by improving your attitude, your relationships, your finances, and your career. One of the things I teach people in seminars all over the world, when people ask you, how's business, how's life? One word with enthusiasm. Nobody will know what you're up to, but they'll think you're doing great. The word is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Use it with enthusiasm. And when people follow, we say, now, wait a minute, Boaz, is it really going that good? Here's a follow-up line. All I can say is it's unbelievable. Stick to your line. Don't explain any further. Everybody will think you're doing great and spread good rumors about you, your life, your family, and your career. This is episode number 52 on Boaz Power TV. I call this one, The Biggest Walls Are in the Mind. The biggest walls are in the mind. You know, it was in 1961 when, unfortunately, the Berlin Wall was built to separate East and West Berlin. No matter what the reasons were, the politics, the fact was a wall was built to separate a city. And it is amazing, for 101 miles, that wall stretched. 14,000 guards eventually guarded people to keep them from going to freedom. But it's incredible what people will do to live a life that is free. During all those years, many people attempted to escape from East Berlin to West Berlin. There was one, Kurt Meyer. He got an old bicycle motor of some kind, and he hooked it up to a contraption and got an air tube, and he was able to actually use this motor to propel him underwater with an air tube one night across the Baltic Sea to freedom. Incredible. Other people built various compartments in cars, underneath the gas tanks, and underneath the back of a car, hidden compartments so people could escape across the border. Amazing. Then there were 11 adults and some children who tunneled from an old store in East Berlin underneath the wall for months and months and months and came out in a restaurant in West Berlin. And then there was one family, amazing, 8 adults, 8 people, including some children, escaped in a 91-foot hot air balloon. They built this hot air balloon that went up to 8,500 feet and went across the border, and the guards couldn't see it. What people will do to escape from freedom. And finally, as you may recall, November 10th, 1989 is when the Berlin Wall came down, when Gorbachev had enough political pressure, and President Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. So it came down, and the two cities were once again reunited. Now, the reason I'm discussing this particular story with you about the Berlin Wall is the fact that many people in their minds build walls that are tougher to get across than the Berlin Wall. We build these walls in our mind. Let me tell you how a wall is built in our mind. Well, I can never accomplish that. Nobody's ever going to give me a raise. Nobody wants to deal with me. I can never start a business of my own. Do you know what that does? What we're doing is building a wall brick by mental brick until it's all closed up and we cannot even see it through because we have built a strong enough wall between us and our future. So I am saying it is time to break down those walls. It's time to tear down the mental walls so that you can open up to the possibility. And instead of using like maybe, words like maybe or I hope, how about using I can, I will? It's amazing what happens when we decide to use the right words to get ourselves going in the right direction. There have been experiments as to what happens with the mind. Somebody had gotten a jar and put in a whole bunch of fleas in it, and the top of the jar had tiny little holes in it for air. And these fleas would try to fly, and every time they would hit the top of the jar, they would bounce back. So after a few days of them doing this, bouncing back from the top of the jar, somebody took the top of the jar off. And you know what? Those fleas did not escape because they had built a mental picture that there was a wall up there. There was a ceiling. Nobody could get past it. And when it was gone, They didn't even realize it. Experiments have also been done with elephants, huge elephants that when they are born, they are tied with a chain to a post nearby to a tree or something. And so they get used to the fact they cannot go any further than a certain distance. And as they continue to grow, that chain is still there. But at some point in the future, the chain is taken off. But the elephant does not go away from the tree because mentally the elephant believes they're still tied to the tree. So what kind of chains do you and I have on our minds? I believe it's time to open up our minds. I believe it's time to realize that you are special and you are a champion and you can do anything you want to when you just believe it. So the affirmation for this episode of Boaz Power TV, please write this down. I am a champion. Notice the sign above me. It says, every day I play like a champion. You may want to make one of those on bright yellow paper and touch it every day. So the affirmation is, I am a champion. I have great ideas. I am a champion. I have great ideas. Say that over and over, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Within 30 days, you will believe it, and you will realize that you have torn down some of that mental wall that keeps you from going to where you want to be. And then many of us need to get our power back. I sure did a few years ago when I got too heavily in debt, used my credit cards too much. Here are some basic points to get your power back. Take a look at these. How do we take our power back? This is how I did it. 1, you lower your expenses. Let's live a little below our means. And then number 2, pay in cash. If you can't afford it, wait. Don't use credit cards to just buy frivolous things. The only time I use credit cards is for business travel, and then I pay it off at the end of the month. Number 3, pay off your debts. I got to tell you, it feels great to be debt-free. It feels great, and wouldn't it be that way for you? I know it will. And number 4, save some money. Cash. Cash is king. Save some money. Ways for you to get your power back. Start with small steps. As I said, the first debt, the smallest one, pay that off. Thank you for joining me. If you like these messages and many people around the world find them very beneficial, please forward this to 5 people you know. Ask them to go to my website, boazpower.com. They can subscribe free to Boaz Power TV. You are special, you are unique, you are destined for greatness, and you are a champion with an open mind to great opportunities. Have a powerful day.
This has been Boaz Power TV. To comment, see other episodes, or to subscribe to this free broadcast, go to our blog at boazpower.com. That's boazpower.com. We're here to take your life to the next level.